sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
Let me know when you're ready.
No matter what the technical difficulty is, this man is a professional. He goes all the way.
What you represent to them is freedom.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This
will allow me to retort.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reverb Common Sense Show. 8 p.m. on shrmedia.com.
Actually, I just totally screwed up. This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome to a special event for the Reverb Common Sense Show. I really hate to be here tonight. It seems we're doing these shows.
Common Sense?
Yeah, we're doing the Reverb Common Sense for tonight.
Damn it.
I didn't know which one to put up.
I'm only guest starring. God.
Yeah, but we have some others possibly calling in. I'm not sure exactly who and when. Everything's put together last minute for us to discuss the events that went on today in Baton Rouge. Do you want to give the gist of it since you're the one that broke it to me?
Well, I can give the initial breakdown of it. This morning, just thumbing through the news, getting ready for my day, numerous police officers in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, responding to a radio call for an armed suspect arrived on the scene and were gunned down in cold blood. They were ambushed. Last I heard, and I'll be perfectly honest, I don't have up-to-date intel on this, was 3 dead, 3 critical. 1 suspect down, 2 suspects being hunted. This was an ambush. Outright, they lured the police to an area for the express purpose of killing them. This was an ambush. This was assassination. This was... I honestly, my emotions have been running so high today. All right, anybody that's listening to our show knows that I've been in emergency services for most of my life. Now, I picked 2 branches, fire and EMS. Those are the 2 branches that I chose to serve. Most of my family chose to serve in law enforcement. So the only thing that can run through my mind is my cousin not getting home to his newborn. My uncles not getting home to my aunts and cousins. Okay, most of these officers are 2nd, 3rd, 4th generation. And that's what runs through my mind. Yet this is the police were at war with what? With civilians? Stop police brutality? No. This is ridiculous. And I'm sorry for the sidebar rant, but like I said, my emotions have been a bit raw all day. So last I knew, 3 critical, 3 dead, searching for 2 individual suspects, all in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. What updates do you have there, Jersey?
The last thing I've read is they do have 2 suspects that are in custody. They don't know if it's them, but from while I was listening, one of the gentlemen was behind a convenience store in black tactical gear holding a rifle in that vicinity. So, it's hard to say, is it a citizen that just happened to be dressed like that? Or, is it one of the suspects? But basically what's going on is 8:30 this morning, a call came in. A gunman shot at the officers when they arrived at a location less than a mile from police headquarters. As we said, one of the suspects is dead. Police initially believed there were multiple suspects, but later said the dead shooter is the only gunman. That's something new that just popped up in the last 15 minutes. The gunman was named Gavin E. Long, a U.S. law enforcement official said. He was the 29-year-old from Kansas, Missouri. and he's being described as a black separatist. Now, I got to question this right off the bat because every report I saw, it was 3 people involved. And all of a sudden, it goes... Huh?
That's all I've been hearing. All 3 is 1 down, 2 on the run.
Yeah, now all of a sudden, out of the Los Angeles Times, they're saying it's only 1 involved. After just a few minutes ago, I read that the two suspects have been detained. It's happening too often.
Look, in all honesty, here's one thing that everybody needs to keep in mind. And they need to keep this in mind, whether it's this event, whether it's what happened in Dallas, whether it's what happened in any previous or any, God help us, future events. With the way the news media is nowadays, this news is available almost instantaneously. These are all fluid situations. They are constantly unfolding. Just because the news media says that something occurred within 20 minutes of the action doesn't mean that's the full story. So please do not jump on the bandwagon and say, well, they're lying because they changed their story 4 hours later. These are fluid situations. They're constantly evolving. They're constantly moving. Honestly, we're getting updates as we're broadcasting. So put the tinfoil hats away for a few minutes, okay? Please.
Well, I've been kind of tinfoil hat all day because the fact that this has happened at such frequency, our benevolent president, with his mouth lately, it seems he is trying to go this route of a federal police force. And how do you do it? You attack the police on a very basic level, calling them a racist at heart organization, or inherited racism.
Well, now you have to be careful there. Now you have to be very careful there. And honestly, okay, I'll tell you what. I'll put on my tinfoil hat for a few minutes here. You have to be careful there for 2 reasons. Number one, Obama and the administration and the current administration has been very careful to not label Black Lives Matter, Black Panther, Black Separatist, Black Power movements, whatever the hell name they want to give themselves. They've been very careful to ensure that they are not labeled as terrorist organizations or anti-government organizations or groups or anything else. They've been very, very strategic about that, okay, which obviously proves that when it's something that is going to suit them, they know how to do it, and they have been successful in that. It's been a lot of propaganda, but we've seen it. Now, on the flip side of that, there's been a lot of discontent or a lot of worry going back years, not just weeks, not just months, but years, about the federalization of a police force. There's been the UN Arms Treaty that raised a lot of eyebrows within certain groups, people that paid attention, that would essentially ban private ownership and the repossession of any firearms from private hands by UN troops. This was all done through the United Nations. I mean, this was something that this administration signed into, but Congress would not ratify, yet the administration still tried to push it as, well, this is what we're going to do. And guess what? It doesn't work that way. I don't care if you've got a pen and a phone, you still cannot bypass the Constitution, no matter how much you want to believe that you can. Now, there's been a lot of theory, a lot of speculation, and as much as I don't want to jump down that rabbit hole, it's kind of hard not to stumble into it, and that is the fact that this administration, this presidency, has been plagued with more of these events than any other.
Yeah.
In history, in American history. It went from schools. Then it was public places. It was places of gathering. It was places of worship. Now it's out and out on the police. Now, what is everybody going to start screaming? Bring in the National Guard. Bring in the reserves. Let's restore order. Well, guess what? That's called martial law. That's called suspending habeas corpus. The United States military is not allowed by our own laws to operate within the boundaries of the United States, not just the continental, but within the boundaries of the United States of America. They are not allowed to be here. I mean, our own troops are disarmed at their own bases unless they are MPs. Okay? Anybody can remember the recruiter that used his personal service weapon to take down a terrorist. He was brought up on charges.
Those got dropped.
He was not supposed to be armed.
Those got dropped eventually.
I don't care if they got dropped.
Okay, I'm just...
The matter is, they brought him up on charges because he broke the rules. In a theater of war, they're allowed to be armed. At home, they're not allowed. Now, do I disagree with it? Yes, I do. However, the fact of the matter stands. People are starting to say that we need to bring the military in to restore order. The fact of the matter is, no, we don't.
No. Yeah, but the same people that are saying that are also saying we need to disarm the police.
Yeah, well, the fact of the matter is we need people to stand up. We need people to stand up, and what we need is we need people to actually go after the baiters. The people throwing the kerosene on the lit fire.
Obama. Sorry.
Jackson. Sharpton.
Yeah.
These people are hiding behind the First Amendment, yet I can freaking guarantee you, if a member of the KKK were to turn around and make anything even similar in connotation to what these guys have been spewing, and then there was an action taken, whether directly or indirectly, with their words, it would not matter. I guarantee you that person will be hauled in on conspiracy charges, on contributing, on whatever the case might be. The fact of the matter is there's a double standard, and we are allowing it to occur. People need to wake the hell up. I'm sorry for the rant. I really am. I'm just, like I said, my tensions have been high.
All right, let's get to some of these responses. Republican nominee Donald Trump. We grieve for the officers killed in Baton Rouge today. How many law enforcement and people have to die because of a lack of leadership in our country? We demand law and order. So he put that out 6 hours ago. That was one of them. He responded very quickly with a couple different tweets or Facebook posts. Now, Hillary Clinton took, 7 hours and has turned into it was 9:40 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the shooting occurred. The Clinton campaign posted the statement at 5:05 Eastern Standard Time, moments after President Barack Obama took podium. Now, people are kind of jabbing all over it that it took her so long. That let's see, has Hillary Clinton commented on Baton Rouge? POTUS, A.G. Lynch, and Donald Trump are on the record. No signs of HRC. Hard to convene a focus group on Sunday. Someone else put Hillary Clinton still silent on Twitter. Baton Rouge attacks on police officer. No statement either. Response was she has to run it by a focus group first. And you're going to see a very common thought here. Hillary Clinton disavowed Black Lives Matter, a domestic terrorist organization. Hillary Clinton stole crickets. Heartless Hillary is no leader, probably running her response through focus groups. And there's time and time again, people just kept saying about the focus group. So it took her, what did I say? It was, 7, 8 hours? Yeah, 7 hours later for her to respond. Hang on, you got to hear the big response that she came out with. I mean, 7 hours, you would think would be some great response. And it is, there is no justification for violence, for hate, for attacks on men and women who put their lives on the line every day in service of our families and communities.
Wow. Okay. You know what? Can I call bullshit right now?
I know.
Honestly, am I allowed?
Yeah.
Can I call bullshit and shenanigans?
Evil shenanigans,
okay.
we'll call.
So that's her response. That's her response. Okay.
Oh, and wait a minute. There was one other spot. There was. Let me get the other one. We must not turn our backs on each other. What?
You double standard bastard.
What?
Go ahead.
No, it's just we must not turn our backs on each other. We must not be indifferent to each other. We must stand together and reject voice and strengthen our communities. So basically what it is don't blame us, Democrats, for what we have caused. Don't blame us. Don't blame us. And after your statement, we'll talk about Obama.
Okay, look, I'm going to call bullshit on all this for two reasons. Number one, do I think she had to get involved with focus groups? Yeah, I'm not naive enough to think that she didn't. Okay, however, the fact of the matter is, what I'm banking on is the fact that she was hoping that the results wouldn't turn out to be as negative as they were and that they would blow over. I don't think she wanted to get involved because it's a negative light on the situation, especially given what just happened a week ago. Which they tried to spin one way, and this obviously proves their spin, the Democratic Party's spin, is bullshit. This proves that. And now that's hurtful to her, that's hurtful to the current administration, and that's hurtful to anybody in the party.
Yeah.
So I'd be willing to bet that that's part of the reason why she held off on it. Now, the whole thing about we can't turn our backs on those that defend us, those that protect us, you know what? I have one thing to ask you. Presumptive candidate Clinton. One thing. Actually, no, take that back. I have two things. Number one, if we do not turn our backs on those that defend us, then why was it when some deranged son of a bitch showed up at a military base in Texas and lit the goddamn place up, it was labeled as workplace violence, even though he was saying why he did it? Where was your voice of concern then? Where were you standing up on your soapbox then? Oh, that's right. You were silent. Furthermore, if we do not turn our backs and we do not leave people behind, where the fuck were you during Benghazi, you piece of shit?
She was home sleeping, and that's what someone said also, that she just went to bed a half hour ago. You got to understand she's asleep.
You knew that one was coming, didn't you?
Yeah. It's...
Sorry.
It is getting ridiculous, and after we get through a little of the politics of this, we're going to get back to going and talking about the incident. But I would be remiss if we didn't talk about some of this, because we got Obama out there who is yelling at the Republicans, we don't need inflammatory rhetoric. And he goes on, and it's going to take a little bit to go over his bullshit that he had to say, because I could play the statement, but unfortunately, with my system, I got to fix it to where Crash could hear it so he can understand what I'm playing. And it goes on that, that he...
You know what? Jersey,
what?
If you've got something to play, and it's going to be a pain in the ass to play it as it is, then give me the Cliff Notes version, and I'll copy based on that. I trust you.
All right, we're going to play it real quick.
Don't make it overly complicated.
All right. Basically, he just goes out and he tries to apologize, but then he starts saying how the Republicans don't need to be running their mouths, blaming each other, blaming the Democrat Party for it. It's not right. Nobody to blame, and we don't know the motives. We've heard this the last several times. Orlando shooter, we don't have the motive. The shooting in Dallas. We don't have the motive. We don't know why. Those cops just could have been randomly driving by when he opened fire, and it just happened to get those cops that were called. So let me play the clips while Crash continues to laugh.
As all of you know now, this morning, 3 law enforcement officers in Baton Rouge were killed in the line of duty. 3 others still in critical condition. As of right now, we don't know the motive of the killing. We don't know whether the killer set out to target
We're not on
police
off
officers,
the air, by the way,
or whether he gunned them down as they responded to a call.
So they're hearing me so laugh.
Yes.
Regardless of motive, the death of these 3 brave officers underscores the danger that police across the country confront every single day. And we as a nation have to be loud and clear that nothing justifies violence against law enforcement. Attacks on police are an attack on all of us and the rule of law that makes society possible. Earlier this afternoon, I spoke with Governor Edwards and Mayor Holden, and I offered them the full support of the federal government and reiterated my full support for law enforcement in Baton Rouge and for police officers across the country. I also spoke to the Attorney General. The FBI has already been on the scene, and through the work of all levels of government, justice will be done. Most of all, our hearts go out to the families who are grieving. Our prayers go out to the officer who's still fighting for his life. This has happened far too often, and I've spent a lot of time with law enforcement this past week. I'm surrounded by the best of the best every single day, and I know whenever this happens, wherever this happens, you feel it. Your families feel it, but what I want you to know today is the respect and the gratitude of the American people for everything that you do for us. And 5 days ago, I traveled to Dallas for the memorial service of the officers who were slain there. I said that that killer would not be the last person who tries to make us turn on each other, nor will today's killer. It remains up to us to make sure that they fail. That decision is all of ours. The decision to make sure that our best selves are reflected across America, not our worst, that's up to us. We have our divisions, and they are not new. Around-the-clock news cycles and social media sometimes amplify these divisions. And I know we're about to enter a couple of weeks of conventions where our political rhetoric tends to be more overheated than usual. And that is why it is so important that everyone, regardless of race or political party or profession, regardless of what organizations you are a part of, everyone right now focus on words and actions that can unite this country rather than divide it further. We don't need inflammatory rhetoric. We don't need careless accusations thrown around to score political points or to advance an agenda. We need to temper our words and open our hearts, all of us. We need what we saw in Dallas this week, as a community came together to restore order and deepen unity and understanding. We need the kind of efforts we saw this week in meetings between community leaders and police, some of which I participated in, where I saw people of goodwill pledge to work together to reduce violence throughout all of our communities. That's what's needed right now. And it is up to all of us to make sure we are part of the solution and not part of the problem. You know, someone once wrote, "A bullet need happen only once, but for peace to work, we need to be reminded of its existence again and again and again." My fellow Americans, only we can prove through words and through deeds that we will not be divided, and we're going to have to keep on doing it again and again and again. That's how this country gets united. That's how we bring people of goodwill together. Only we can prove that we have the grace and the character and the common humanity to end this kind of senseless violence, to reduce fear and mistrust within the American family, to set an example for our children. That's who we are, and that's who we always have the capacity to be. And that's the best way for us to honor the sacrifice of the brave police officers who were taken from us this morning. May God bless them and their families. May God bless the United States of America. Thank you very much.
So that was our idiot-in-chief babbling on about the Baton Rouge incident.
No, it's not the idiot. It's not the idiot in chief. Come on, let's be politically correct here. It's our fearful leader.
That's one way to put it. I'm sorry, but he has said everything wrong at every point where he has chances to be a hero. He could have corrected his presidency so many times, time after time, but he continues to be a dumbass and come out and say the exact opposite what it needs to be said.
Honestly, Jersey, I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, I'm going to disagree with you on one thing. I'm not sure he's had any opportunity to actually be a hero. A hero would require you actually putting yourself in front of everybody else and taking the assault for no other reason than you felt it was right. I don't see that in his mentality.
I don't. But he's had the chance.
I don't think that would ever freaking happen. He's a chicken crap.
Oh yeah, he could have came out and said, "Listen, I said the wrong things. This is on my head. This is why it happened."
I think what you meant to say, and correct me if I'm wrong, he has given up his opportunities to be a leader.
Yeah, a leader.
Which I would agree with. He could actually lead us out of this crap. The problem is, instead of just getting away from the gas station, he says, $5 billion more on pump 5, and the problem just continues. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I'm so sick of this jackass. You know,
agreed. Absolutely agreed.
But I'm talking even from the start of his presidency. There's so many incidents that could have come up, but I'm really starting to wonder. And I know we joke about the tinfoil hat, and Jenna keeps saying we need to make tinfoil fedoras because we're a little bit classy.
We need to do what?
Jenna, the chat room listener, she's a very loyal listener, but she says we need to make tinfoil hat fedoras. Because we are a higher class.
Fedoras.
Yeah.
Really? Why don't you tell her to come on down and visit me? I'll show her a fedora.
That's too small to even see without a microscope.
Yeah, well, that's about as classy as I am. Sorry.
I didn't say I was classy. And then we got...
And with that, all hate mail goes to crash@reaver.one.
That's O-N-E, not the number. You got to spell it out. But the Baton Rouge shooter, Gavin Eugene Long, was Nation of Islam member, railed against quote-unquote crackers on his YouTube channel. He has the making of he was a racist, and Obama just lit the fuse again.
Yeah, the problem is...
Oh, God, he was a Marine.
Honestly, this is what really pisses me off. This is what really pisses me off. This event unfolded, 12 hours ago, right?
Yeah.
Roughly. I mean, I'm standing outside. I don't have a clock in front of me, so it's roughly 12 hours. So, for all intents and purposes, this guy was a racist piece of crap, and he decided to perform this act. Now, he set up an ambush. Okay, he didn't just target a group of individuals that happened to be in one place. No, he lured people who he knew would respond.
Now, that has not been proven yet, according to Obama, and you're jumping to conclusions.
Okay, well, then you know what? Fine. I am jumping to conclusions, and that's perfectly fine. Because my counter-argument is...
That he's an idiot?
I honestly will say this. After that piece of white trash... Now, before everybody jumps on me for being racist, I am white... I am a male. I am middle-aged. Blah, 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 blah. Fuck you. Okay, that's all there is to it. But after that piece of crap decided to do a drive-by outside of a church and kill a bunch of African Americans, he was a racist piece of shit. We need to ban a flag that had nothing to do with it. The only correlation was there happened to be a picture of him in front of it. Okay, well, if that's the case, ban the fucking American flag. Ban the American flag. Ban the Star Stripes and Banner. Because you know what? The son of a
The
bitch
what?
that
Star
went
Stripes and
killed all
what?
the Star Stripes and Banner.
Oh, you said
Ban
banger.
those. I'm a little bit pissed off, and I've had a few beers. Don't fuck with me.
Banger.
The fact of the matter is, ban that one then too. Because if you use that as the premise of banning something that is our heritage, the piece of crap that opened fire on the Dallas police force a week ago was a U.S. serviceman, which means there is a photograph of him standing in front of that flag. You want to ban that one too?
No, because
There's your
that's
double
different.
standard.
That's different.
There
You're
is your
just being a
double standard.
racist. You're just being a racist and a hateful white person.
Yeah, well, let's get this straight. I'm not a racist. I'm an equal opportunity offender, motherfuckers. You don't like it? Come find me.
So easy to torque you
Shut
up some days.
asshole. Dude, I'm torqued. I told you I'm torqued.
I know you're torqued, and I know how I can torque you up even more. Let's see.
Yeah, well, you seem to think it's sport, which, well, it's comical. I'll give you that. The fact of the matter is, everybody crucified him, and I'm not standing up for that piece of crap that killed all those parishioners in front of a church. That kid was a piece of shit. He was a piece of trash. And I've been in no way standing up for him. The only thing I'm saying is, you know what? Call a spade a spade. I don't give a crap what the color of somebody's skin is. I don't give a crap what their gender is, or I have to be politically correct, what their gender identity currently happens to be at this very moment in time. None of that makes a goddamn bit of difference. If you're a low-life piece of shit, you're going to act like a low-life piece of shit, and you're going to perform as a low-life piece of shit. So how about we call it what it is and get off our political high horses and our soapboxes and actually support the men and women and servicemen and civilians that are actually trying to make this country something, actually trying to defend what this country used to be and get it back to what it was. We're one of the youngest nations in the world. The world. We are one of the youngest nations, and we were a superpower. We were a force to be reckoned with. We used to be something, and we have given it away. And that's not just with Obama's administration. It goes back way before him. Fact of the matter is, as American citizens, we've been giving it away, piece by piece. You want this country to be great again? Stand the fuck up, be counted, and do something about it. Stop relying on somebody else to stand up for you. Because you know what? Those people are out there standing up for you, and they're getting shot and killed. In Dallas, those people stood up for you, and all the people that were out there to protest them hid behind those who stand up regardless. You want to talk about a hero? Those men and women in uniforms, those are the heroes. Whether they happen to be in Dallas, Kansas, Washington, Indiana, Massachusetts, I don't give a shit. Someone that puts on a uniform and will turn around and say, nothing will get you because I am here, that's a hero. The rest of you naysayers and wannabes, kiss my Irish white ass.
And with that thought in everybody's mind, we're going to go to a quick break. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio, iTunes, YouTube. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network. Now at Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our Gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. And we also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
My name is Chris Peranto, call sign Tonto. I was with the Global Response Staff. We were the security element for the Central Intelligence Agency in Benghazi, Libya on 9/11/2012. Myself and my team responded to an attack that killed Ambassador Chris Stevens, Sean Smith, and two of my teammates, Tyrone Woods and Glenn Doherty. Radical Islam is basically terrorism in a nutshell. It wants to not only put down Western values, it wants to kill anybody that supports those Western values, which is freedom, which is Christianity, and which is also anything that looks poorly on Sharia law. We've allowed it again to grow into something that it shouldn't be, and it's becoming stronger and stronger every day that we don't lead from the front. Obama and Hillary, by avoiding the phrase radical Islam, they're being politically correct. They don't see it for what it is, and that's straight up destroying the Western world. Radical Islam doesn't have a fear. They will give up their lives. They will detonate themselves. They will do anything they can to fulfill Sharia law and kill the infidels. If we're not able to even say radical Islam, the word radical Islam, there's no way we can fight it. There's no way we can defeat it. The United States of America doesn't lead from behind. We are always setting the example. If not, we're going to see terrorism get bigger and bigger, and eventually it's just going to be continual lone wolf attacks in the United States. And I don't want that to happen to my kids. I don't want to see my family go through that. Please join me in waking up Washington in this fight on radical Islam, seeing the threat that it really is. Sign up at leadingfromthefront.org.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplains.dailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
you got a business. That you didn't build that.
A team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cow for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mud Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reverbcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reverb Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reverb of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense show for the special episode, I should say, hosted by Jersey Joe, and I got Crash with me here tonight. He's helping out. And I always say that with the show that I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. But tonight's show, there is no making sense out of any of this. We're here reporting about and talking about the ambush of several Baton Rouge police officers that has left 3 dead, 3 wounded at this time. From last I saw, there's still 1 officer that is fighting very, very, very good fight, but they don't know if he's going to make it or not, so we'll find out about that. We've had too many officers getting killed lately, all because of our benevolent dictator, dickhead, shooting his mouth off. And not just him, we got Hillary Clinton shooting her mouth off, the AG. The Democrats just don't know when to stick a fucking foot in their mouth, and this time, well, they have stuck a foot in their mouth because the officers are just getting hunted. Ooh, big bang outside. And the one thing I notice, and maybe it's just a lot of coincidence, but after time and time again, these coincidences start to add up that I don't think they're coincidence. We now have military personnel are being held against their will in Turkey. And it just makes me wonder what the hell's going on, because too many times we see when something like that happens, all of a sudden there's a shooting in the United States that takes over the news cycle. So nobody's talking about those military personnel being held at bay against their will at this time.
All right, well, to be perfectly honest with you, Jersey, I'm going to play devil's advocate on that. All right, the situation in Turkey is a bit different, at least from what I've been able to discern. They had a coup. They had a military uprising.
Is that like a coochie coup? Sorry.
Well, that's what I was hoping to get later on tonight, but then you had to go and send me that fucking picture of Clinton, and all hopes of that were gone.
Hey, I was going to try to get some tonight, too, and that's going out the window. All right.
Going out the window? Shit. Yeah, I'm sure be getting laid. Got launched to fucking Mars, you dick.
I don't think I'll be getting laid anytime. I don't think I can get it up. I don't think I can get it up with like a case of Jack Daniels and a carton or a case of Viagra after looking at that picture. And for those that don't know, it's a picture of Hillary Clinton, and it says, "Here's the real challenge. Try masturbating to this picture tonight."
Yeah, fucking pantsuit. I'm never looking at a pantsuit again the same way. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
Anyway. Now, the thing with Turkey is they had a military uprising. Not the full military, but certain people in the military. Evidently it was rather large, and they tried to seize control of the government. It was squashed by the current government. I want to say 161 or 160 plus individuals were killed before the uprising was squashed. And they believe that they have all those responsible parties and associated parties in custody and or detained at this time. Now, essentially what Turkey is going after, Turkey has locked everything down. Okay, we have assets in the area. We've got an air base there. We've got military bases there that we've been using for operations in the Middle East. We've been using them most specifically for the fight against ISIS. Well, they've frozen all the airspace. We are not allowed to launch any aircraft, whether it's to ISIS or whether it's to another one of our facilities, to get our guys out of there. What they did allow was any aircraft that was currently on a mission, they were allowed to land back at the base. So I'll give them points for that. They did allow our guys to return back to base safely. Now, I'm kind of on the fence about it. I've got a lot of military family. I've got a lot of history in the military. And if the country is in turmoil, I can understand them wanting to lock things down until they are 100% assured that the current government has control over all of the current military staff, regardless of branch. I can understand that. However, I have two things that I am curious about. Number one, if you're worried about that, and there is what was the count, 1,600 U.S. military personnel stationed there?
Say it again, I'm sorry.
Is that roughly what it was, Jersey?
I forget how many.
1,600?
Something like that.
All right, but in any case, you have that many people stationed there. Number one, that's our air base. Okay, I get the lockdown. The lockdown's now been in effect for quite a while. No resupplies can come in, which means all they have is what was currently on the ground. Why not let a certain amount of those evacuate the area? You're worried about security? Okay, so are we. Those are our boys. Let us get our boys out of there until you sort out your own fucking shit. Number two, and this is actually the bigger thing I've got a question with, and in all honesty, it raises some concerns here in my own country. Why did the military feel that they needed to step up to seize control? What is going on in the political environment? Because you know what? I haven't seen that hit the news. I have not seen one report of why.
Because
what was the reasoning why?
Because the dictator that they have was trying to take too much control. He's been protecting and helping ISIS. He's been an Islamist that is just turning into a dictator when the country has it in their constitution that should a president try to take too much control, the military is to take control immediately. So there's a lot of things going on there that just, as you said, haven't been really publicized, but it has not been a good instance. And I think that attack from ISIS on the Istanbul airport just pushed them over because their leader wasn't doing diddly to protect the people.
Honestly, to be perfectly frank with you, I don't care if you say
I'm not
Turkey's
frank.
leader. Sorry?
Nothing. Go ahead. I was playing the
You're
airplane.
an asshole.
You know the airplane. Shirley, you're joking. Yes, but don't call me Shirley. I was listening to Airplane or watching Airplane the other day.
I picked the wrong day to stop sniffing glue. Asshole.
What do you make of this? I can make a brooch. I can make a pterodactyl.
I wonder how many people are actually getting these fucking references right now.
That scares me because my wife doesn't even get them. She's never watched Airplane.
Huh?
No, she
How
never
is
has.
how
Exactly.
Oh God! Please tell me she's at least seen Spaceballs.
Oh yeah, she knows Mel Brooks. Come on, that's Jewish.
Okay, good. All right, good. All right.
But yeah,
Only one
the whole
person would dare give me the raspberry.
Black Sheriff.
Any case. Call the desert. We ain't found shit. All right. In any case, it doesn't matter whether it's the leaders in Istanbul, whether it's the leaders in France, in Germany, in America. It doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is, all of these countries have opened up the floodgates. They've allowed these individuals in, unvetted, unchecked, and unaccounted for. Now, the European countries they're seeing worse results faster. And in all honesty, going on the just percentages of the amount of individuals and the frequency, they're going to see more occurrences. They're going to see them at a faster pace than we will. But the fact of the matter is, at the end of the day, we're doing the same thing over here. All these freaking immigrants coming in. Nobody's checking them. Nobody's vetting them. And the thing is, it all gets disavowed. In our country, we disavow it. We turn around and say, oh, well, it doesn't matter if they were Muslim. Oh, it doesn't matter if they were from the Middle East. Oh, it doesn't matter if they were this. It doesn't matter if they were that. You know what? The whole point of investigating a crime is finding out every aspect that it could be, not every aspect that it could not be. I mean, shit, I'd be willing to bet most of our listeners that they have not heard about what's happened in the Middle East with, I can never say the name right, Choble, the yogurt company.
Okay.
There's a yogurt company. They've got, it's either the biggest or one of the biggest yogurt manufacturing facilities. It is in the U.S. It's out in the Midwest somewhere. I can't remember exactly where. And I think my kid just showed up, so I might have to pause myself in a second here. But it's something like most of it, I think it's like 2/3 of their employees are refugees. They're Muslim refugees. There's already been cases of 5 or 6 refugees raping kids under the age of 10. Hey, kiddo!
Yeah,
Have fun?
It's absolutely ridiculous on these instances that are popping up with these illegal immigrants. And I swear that the Democrat Party is out not for anything Democratic or American. They're out to destroy everything American. And Republicans, I got some issue with Republicans, but Democrats, man.
Well, yeah, me too. The thing is, I apologize for that. My daughter just showed up, and as much as I try to educate her,
yeah.
Sorry, I'm a dad. I still shelter to a certain extent. However, the news media has been suppressing it. I mean, it's literally been called nothing more than just kids being kids. Okay, you had teenagers sexually assaulting. I want to say the girl was like 8 years old.
Yeah.
And it was a group of them. That is a gang rape. I don't care if you're
and they're protecting
18, 28, or 80. Rape is rape. And you know what? That's something that the Democrats continue to push, right? No means no. Even though she said yes, it means no if she had too many beers that night, blah, 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 blah. There's always a justification. Yet, in this circumstance, it's not hit the media.
Well, no, it has hit the media a little bit, but the mainstream doesn't want to run with it.
A little bit. I'm sorry, a little bit. I'm sorry. Fuck that shit. If it was 6 white, Caucasian, Irish, Scottish, or English teenagers that raped an 8-year-old girl, it would be blasted nationwide, worldwide.
Yep.
That's what it would have been. This is bullshit. This is them trying to cover their asses. And the fucking fact of the matter is that goddamn yogurt plant, their shareholders, some of them are Muslim. Some of the people in the city council have got ties to those individuals. Fucking buyout. But no, we don't have a problem here. I'm sorry, fuck you. You want to mess with one of my kids? Honestly, here's my way of looking at it. The cops are too worried about two things. One, getting recorded when they shouldn't be. Number two, getting shot in the back when they're doing their goddamn jobs. I'm not worried about either one of those goddamn things. You come after one of my kids, you will see it coming. And it's a big-ass fucking slug. And you're going to get two of them. One to the nuts, one to the head. Guess which one comes first?
Nuts.
And the FBI is circling my house right about now. Nope, that's U.S. Coast Guard. Never mind, I'm good.
As much as I'd like to have more information about what's going on, it's kind of slowed down on what information is out there with this ambush. And I'm sorry, with Obama saying, well, we don't know what happened, bullshit. They are already saying with certainty that this person called 911 and set up an ambush point for these officers. And
you know what, the fucking thing is, I mean, I started to say it earlier. I mean, they're saying that they don't know the motives, they don't know this, they don't know that. Okay, the guy at the club in your own state, in Florida, called in and said this is for ISIS. How are you going to say you don't know the motive? You've got the voice recording. You know the motive. Okay, they've found proof of the motive in Dallas. They know the motive. Okay, yet the only motive they had for the asshole, and I will continue to use that word, the asshole at the church shooting was a picture.
Yeah, and that's what's funny. They jumped to conclusion on that
was
one.
The only thing they used. I have yet to hear anything else. Now, I'm not going to say the guy wasn't a racist piece of shit, and I'm not trying to defend him because honestly, I have no interest in defending him. He was a piece of crap, just the same as the person in Orlando, the person in Baton Rouge, the person in Dallas. They're all pieces of crap. They're all pieces of human trash, and I have no love lost for any of them.
Something that just came across something just came across that I'm finding very fucking sickening is they are protesting right now.
Oh God!
In the area of the Baton Rouge shooting, they are actually out protesting.
Who is protesting?
These BLMs. They're out there protesting, doing their protest, and as this one writer put it, they need to be arrested and thrown the fuck in jail.
What are they protesting?
What
the
police.
They possibly be protesting?
The police, I guess. I don't know.
Right. The police didn't. The police didn't do anything. They showed up to a 911 call and got gunned down. What the hell?
I know that, but this is the idiocy that is the BLM. It's speechless. It makes you speechless. It makes you want to bang your head against the wall.
Well, it makes me want to. I've already done it 4 times during the broadcast.
I can't believe they're out there protesting in Baton Rouge, right in the area where these cops were ambushed and murdered, and they think this is a smart thing to do. What I don't understand is they actually think this is the smart thing to do to get people on their side. Any last comments?
Oh, wow. Yeah, real quick. For shits and giggles, I just went to CNN after you just stated that, and one of the top things that pops up is the shootings are overshadowing the Republican National Convention. Gee.
Well, yeah, Black Lives Matter bitching about the Dallas shooter was overshadowing the BLM movement.
Anybody else want to put on a tinfoil hat?
Oh, it gets better because Black Lives Matter then bitched the other night with Paris terrorist attack that was overshadowing their movement.
Yeah, the terrorist attack where some asshole decided to drive a motor vehicle into a populated crowd that was there for a celebration. And last I heard, I think it was 3 American citizens lost their lives.
Yeah, I know. These people.
3 American citizens.
They're acting like they're little children that are not getting their way, and they don't get to spread their hate and their vile racism. And that's what it is racism. And don't tell me a black person can't be racist, because that's just illogical within the self. It's...
You know what? I'll tell you right now. A black person can be racist. For the next 5 seconds, I identify as black. I'm racist. There, black person's racist. 3, 2, 1.
And with that,
what? Everything's good now, isn't it?
And with that, we're going to go off the air and just pray for the families. That's all I ask everybody that's listening. Pray for the families. Until tomorrow, 11 a.m. Tomorrow, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., Reverb Common Sense. We'll discuss more of this. Have a good day. Bye. And where's the button? Where's the button? I always forget to set up. Shut up, Crash. You're not working the board.
I didn't.
You've been listening to the Reverb of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com.